almost Christmas. Neither of us had kids, but I bet that if you do, you are already looking for that perfect Christmas gift for your little ones. If you are like us, you are already starting to think what you could get your nephews or your little sister.
The way that things are now, it may not be difficult to find the exact toy that will make your little ones jump for joy. And if they're bigger kids, they probably have a big list of things that they have seen on TV or that their friends have.
In this video, besides that perfect gift that you already have in mind, we will give you some tips on how to buy conscious toys, considering the materials they are made of and the impact that toys can have on the little lives.
The first bit of information that we want to give to you is that kids need to get bored. Have you heard that before? When kids get bored, they are forced to be more creative and imaginative in finding ways to amuse themselves. Having free time to try things out without the fear of failure is essential if a child is to develop grit and resilience. It encourages initiative and problem solving, as they have to rely on themselves to tackle the problem of being bored. Having unstructured playtime with other children will help your child to develop interpersonal skills. When children have opportunities to occupy themselves and manage to do so successfully, it gives their self-esteem a boost. Having the time to just be gives them the opportunity to explore their own thoughts and get to know themselves better.
Modern toys are designed to sell. The big toy companies in the film industry openly congratulate themselves on how well the toy advertising during children's TV work, causing children to demand for the latest item. This only results in toys that will be laying around in the house after a few months or even weeks, because the kids lose interest in it, or because they have so many that they can't play with them all.
Some toys may have dangerous ingredients. It will seem repetitive. We know, but that is the truth. Materials with health concerns are everywhere, including toys. In the past, government agencies have recalled toys because they represented a risk of lead poisoning, for example. Lead is used to augment paints and pigments in some toys, and other toys may also be completely made out of lead. Considering that it's normal for toddlers and infants to put toys, fingers, and other objects in their mouths, we can see that the materials that make these up are of high concern.
Playing is their world. Kids need to have freedom to imagine, to explore ideas, and to experiment. Play is how children learn, and yet most commercial toys are designed to keep kids occupied, not to help them develop. But kids can't go against their nature. Frequently, you can see kids playing with something in other ways, far removed from what the toy was designed for. For example, my 6-year-old little sister and Rosalinda's nephews use the Jenga blocks to build things, rarely even playing the actual game. Or have you ever noticed how much children are enjoying the big boxes after unpacking all of their Christmas presents, building forts or vehicles, while the actually toys are forgotten? So, what better to give them toys that exercise their imagination?
The new generations are born into the technological era, and it's important for them to learn how to use it. In fact, they learn at a very young age, and they're even better than the adults at it. But screen times should be limited.
According to a large Canadian study, letting a child spend lots of time using screens may delay their development of skills such as language and sociability. And if they become addicted to screens, where is the room for imagination and creativity? To exercise their imagination, search for toys that are open-ended. These are materials with multiple uses and limitless possibilities, such as molding clay, wet sand, paint, blocks, and other loose parts. With these toys, there are no rules to follow, no expectations, no specific problems to solve, and no pressure to produce a finished product.
Girls like blue and boys like pink. But there are more colors than just pink and blue. Playing is the way that kids learn. Playing with cars, for example, helps them get a sense of orientation. Playing with a baby doll helps them develop carrying abilities. Girls need to learn to be space-oriented, and boys need to take care of the most vulnerable ones. Toys have no gender. We as adults give them the gender.
The last point that is necessary to have in mind is that While the kids that received the toys enjoy them, the kids that made them suffer. Ethical practices not only affect clothing. In December last year, the Department of Labor revealed violations of child labor laws in several Toys R Us retailers. The children that were building the toys were not allowed to take proper naps, not even at night. This company has been caught several times for the exploitation of child labor, but they would rather pay a fine than change their practices. It is important to keep this in mind when shopping for toys. Toys are supposed to bring joy to kids, not the opposite.